Hello everyone, this is Melkozonki, and if there's a slight pause there, I do apologize because it does tend to take a little bit for the recording to actually start once I press the record button. Anyways, this is a game called The Quest. It's basically a very old school RPG game which has a lot of old school graphics and elements and is just amazing. To be completely honest, I've spent more time on this game than probably any other on the iPod combined. Anyway, I just select my basic skills here and stuff. I kind of know what I'm doing since I have played this game. I think I've completed the original app about 5 or 6 times, and I've completed all the expansions once and all but one another time after that. So anyways, I do kind of know what I'm doing, but again, it has been a few years since I played this game. Anyway, I am having to record in the landscape mode, or play in landscape mode, just simply for recording reasons, which is very annoying. Pretty much the first thing I always do once I head into town is loot all the barrels, because there tends to be some goodies in them at the start. I'll have to remember when they all are, where they all are. As I said, it has been quite a while since I actually last played this game. I did choose to be an undead character because they are pretty strong. They also start with a spell called Drain Health, which is really, really useful, as I'll most likely show later on in this kind of gameplay and all that. Anyway, we gotta talk to this woman and get the first quest. Basically, she just wants. Oh, okay. You have to commit a crime first before you can start her quest, and then just talk to her about her offer. Anyways, I'm not too interested in what she wants to say. You pretty much just want to say you're in, and all she wants you to do is break into the back of the bar. And luckily, you have to do it at night, but luckily if you start as an undead character, you start at nighttime, which is, I guess, a bit more befitting the whole undead profile. So, the back of the bar is just around here. This isn't really like a walkthrough or anything. This is more of a let's play. I don't remember anything because I do have a terrible memory, and it has been quite a while since I last played through the original version of the game, which is the first app, simply called The Quest. There's more. There's plenty and plenty of expansions. Oh, I forgot, it's this window. My bad. See, there we go. And just go back to her. And here, of course, you're faced with the choice in either good or evil one. You can choose to keep the money, or keep all the money, or give her extra, and then she clears your crime records as well, which proves to be the better deal in the long run, because paying off your crimes does take a bit of money in this game, which is unfortunate. So, yes I did, but it was more than we expected, so here is your 400 gold. What is really annoying, first quest completed already. That was really fast, I know, and if I'm just blurring past everyone here, I do apologize, because I know this isn't the most well-known game on the App Store, so a lot of people have probably never even heard of it, but as you can see, it is kind of I don't really know how to explain it. I wanted to say side-scrolling, but it's not really. It's more of like a first-person game, but it's not 3D, so if that makes any sense. Okay, you can talk to the mayor at night. You just want to talk to him about the sickness to start that quest. And then we'll talk to the innkeeper. There's 3 quests you can start right in this area. This is the most annoying one, in my opinion, the kidnapped wife, because you have to come back to town several times. And even though you can get the teleport spell, I'm not going to get it quite yet, because it takes a little while to get it. It includes some saving and reloading, and I'd rather do that off camera if I'm going to get the teleport spell the cheap way. Basically how you can do it is just you can save your game and then open the shop and see if they have the teleport spell, and if they don't, just reload the game over and over until they do, and then wait till the next day till the shop replenishes its stock and get the other half of the teleport spell. Basically, you have to get these 2 spells called Mark and Recall, which would be under your spellbook here. I don't have very many yet. There we go. I have a few. And unfortunately, the shops aren't open at night, of course. How inconvenient. They should be. All shops should be open 24 hours these days. That's just how life goes. But of course I can just go around and loot the barrels, and again, if you don't like watching this, I apologize. The first episode of new series is always really, really boring to watch, just when you're getting started and all that stuff. It is really important, though, if you decide to try out this game yourself, that you do end up going around and looting all these barrels, because the money does come in really useful in the start. You do definitely need some money for potions. I don't like to spend money on gear, since you can get all the gear you need just from looting and monsters and all that sort of stuff, but you definitely do need some money for potions, because you can't really make your own at the very start of the game. You kind of have to buy them from the shops. Or if you're really good and just an absolute pro like me, you won't need them. Actually, I'll probably need lots of potions. This game does have a very high difficulty curve compared to more modern games, if you want to use that word. I guess what I can do next is kind of like the intro quest for all the other characters, because for whatever reason the undead character starts in the town, but I think 3 out of the other 5 races or something like that start in a little cave north of the town, and there is little quests that you can do in there. But first I do need to talk to the barkeeper about the sickness. And the reason why I'm picking up all these flowers and stuff is so I can make potions with them to make some money, but I'm not going to do that on camera. Basically, you have to talk to this guy, otherwise you're not going to be able to get into the cemetery. And after you talk to him, you can, because a ladder just magically appears, of course. That sort of thing always happens in these games. But anyways, the little, what do you call it, this thing right in front of me, I can't get to it yet because you can't walk across water that is more than 2 spaces wide. And there should be an archer up here that I can kill as well. But as I was saying with the whole flowers thing, I'm going to be making my own potions, which I'm not going to be doing on camera because it's really boring gathering all the ingredients and stuff. So I definitely will do that off camera. And as you can see, like when you walk 1 pace at a time, that means an enemy is nearby, which is right in front of me, this young archer. Kind of odd how there'd be one so close to town, but there is. We'll just quickly dispatch of it. I guess it's a her because it has long hair. I'm not sure. That doesn't necessarily make it female. It doesn't look very male to me. So just take this guy down. He doesn't pose much of a challenge, really. You can either just like tap on them or attack the attack button to attack. I do find it pretty annoying. Another cool little tip is if an enemy walks to one of the diagonals, what you can do is just swing your sword, and that'll, like, as is turn-based combat, it'll take up a turn, and then the enemy will always step back towards you. And that's why I like being undead. That spell right there. It basically drains their health. So it heals you and kills them, which is a win-win situation if I've ever heard of one, really. Just harvesting these flowers, and then we can go into this dungeon place where there's going to be a lot of bats. I don't remember if any of them are poisonous, but I really hope not, because that would be unfortunate. We're not really prepared for that sort of thing so early on in the story. One thing that really does annoy me, I'm going to try to not do this so much, but the first time I ever played through this game, if you can look up in the top right corner, there's a map, and basically areas are gray until you look at them, and then they turn kind of orange and dark brown, which means they're explored, but it always really bugged me when areas weren't explored because of OCD and all that, so I always had to explore everywhere, which I know is kind of a waste of time, and I'm going to try to not do that as much as possible. I can't remember if these things are poisonous or not, but I really hope not. Probably not, because this is the starting area for three out of the 4 different characters that you can have. Well, they're not really characters, they're more like ethnicities, but I guess we can just call them characters. Easier and all that, so just kill the bats, and this is like the very easiest quest, really. You just have to find a mirror for this little girl. And there's a few weapons and stuff in this dungeon, if I can remember, and there's the enemy. The one annoying thing about being the undead is when you first start out, your regular weapons like clubs and axes and swords and all that fun stuff, your typical RPG arsenal, they're all really, really weak, so you're not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage with it. That's why I like being the undead character, so I can just do that right there, and a lot of damage happens. Um, I forget where this mirror is. There's supposed to be like a little pool of water that you tap on, of course. There's not so much in the original game, but in later games there's like a lot of hidden walls and stuff. Basically, you just tap on random walls, and sometimes they can disappear, which is really annoying. It just pisses me off because there's a lot of puzzles that involve tapping on walls and stuff, and it's just this game has like some of the most challenging puzzles I've ever come across, and there's been a few that I was never able to solve. Although this game does have, I'm not sure how much it is in this way anymore, but I know back when I was really into this game a couple years ago, it had a very active community on the forums that you can access right from your iPod. I do. I don't know if this is the case anymore, and if it's not, I'm sorry for being misleading. And here's a little pool of water. The Marisola's hand mirror. Very interesting. So just go back and turn in this quest. This is going to be the end, since my iPod is very hot to the touch, and I don't want to play anymore. And also, I don't know if anyone actually wants to watch me play this game. I wouldn't mind, because this game is quite fun, in my opinion. So, that is all for part 1. Just take a quick look over at the character. This is all my stuff I have so far. So, if you have like if you enjoy RPGs and all that stuff, especially the old school ones, this game is your wet dream on the iOS. Sorry for the slang, but that is really the best way I can describe it. So I'm going to save the game, and thanks for watching.